Good morning, students. In the last lecture of the object-oriented programming, we learned the concept of access specifiers, that is access modifiers present in C++, as well as how to define the member function inside the class and outside the class. Now, in this lecture, we will start our next point. In today's lecture, we will see what is the static data members, what is the static member function and friend function. These three concepts we will learn in today's lecture. First, we will see what is static data members. First, we will see static data members. When we declare a normal variable, that is a data member in a class, then different copies of those data members create with the associated object. That is, if we create the n number of objects of a particular class, then that objects shares the data members of the defined class, and those creates the number of different copies of that data members. So, in some cases, when we need a common data member that should be same for all objects, we cannot do this using normal data members. To fulfill such a cases, we need static data members. In this point, we are going to learn about the static data member functions, how they are declared, how they access with and without member function. First, we will see what is the static data members. As I told that static data member is different from the normal data member present in a class. In C++, a data member of a class can be qualified as a static. We can create the static data member in C++. Static variables are normally used to maintain values common to the entire class. Means, if we create the number of objects for the respective class, then if we create any variable or the data member as a static, then at that time the values for that variable is common to the all objects. That is, the static variables are normally used to maintain values common to the entire class. A static data members is useful when all objects of the same class must share a common item information. The static data member concept is used whenever the number of objects of the same class must share a common data member or the common variable. In that situation, the static data members are very useful. Static data members of a class are used to share information among the objects of a class. This is all about the static data members. In short, it is a variable which is declared with the static keyword. Then it is also known as class member. Thus, only single copy of the variable creates for all the objects. Any changes in the static data member through one member function will reflect in all other objects member function. Let's see the syntax for creating the static data member. The syntax for declaring a static data member means when you want to create any data member or the variable in the class as a static, then use the following syntax. First, use the static keyword. First, you want to use the static keyword. After that, you want to specify the data type of that particular variable or the data member, and after that you want to specify the data member name, means variable name. This is the syntax for declaring a static data member in a class. Then we will see the syntax for defining the static data member. The static data member should be defined outside of the class following this syntax. The static data member should be defined outside of the class. That use this syntax. First, you want to specify the data type. After the data type, you want to specify the class name, the respective class name for that member or for that variable. After that, you want to apply the scope resolution operator. Use the scope resolution operator. After the scope resolution operator, you want to specify the member name or the variable name, and if we want to assign the value to the variable, then use the equal to operator to assign the particular value to the static data member. And after equal to operator, there is a value to be which assigned to the static data member. This is all about the static data member and its declaration. Static data member means what? The static data member is a variable which is declared with a static keyword, and it is also known as class member. Thus, only single copy of a variable creates for all the objects present on that particular class. And the static variables are normally used to maintain the values common to the entire class. Note that if you are calling a static data member within a member function, then member function should be declared as a static. That is, a static member function can access the static data members. If you are calling a static data members, then you must define a static member function. That we will see in the next example how to apply or how to use the static data member within a member function. First, we will see the characteristics of the static data member. There are some properties or the characteristics of the static data members, such as all static variables are automatically initialized to 0 value when the first object of the class is created. The static variables are first initialized to 0. It starts from the 0. Only one copy of static data member is created for the entire class and is shared by all the objects of that class. Only one copy of the static data member is created, and that copy is shared by all the objects of that respective class. Then next, it is visible only within the class, but its lifetime is entire program. The static member variables are accessed in entire program, can be accessed in entire program. Static data members are normally used to maintain values common for all the objects. If you want to share the same value, the common value for all the object of that class, then you use the static data members. The type, next one is the type and scope of each static variable must be redefined outside the class definition. This we will see in next program. Consider the example. Here static data member is accessing through the static member function. Here the static data member is accessed through the static member function. We can also define the function as a static, that we will see in the next. First we will see the example of accessing static data member without static member function, because we until not cover the static member function concept. So we first I will take this program. This program is for accessing static data member without static member function. Here is an class demo. Demo is an one class. In that, one static member variable is declared. Variable name is of ABC. The syntax for declaring static member variable is, first we want to use the static keyword, after that we want to specify the data type, and after that we want to specify the member name. Here one static variable ABC is created. Then next, for that static variable, one value is initialized. How to initialize the value? There is one syntax. First we want to specify the data type. After that data type we want to specify the class name. After the class name there is an scope resolution operator. After scope resolution operator we want to specify the member name, and by using equal to operator we assign the value to the static member variable. Then in the main function, the static member variable's value is displayed. Here we assign the value 10, so it displays the value of the ABC will 10. After executing the program, you display the message as value of ABC, means value of static variable or the value of static data member is 10, because we assign the value 10 to the static variable. If we create the multiple objects of this demo class, then these all objects shares the common value as a 10, and it displays the value for the every object that is 10. This is the use of static data member. Next we will see the static member function. Member functions may also be declared as static, as like static data members, means here there we define the variable or the data member of the class as a static. We can also define the member function as a static in C++. A static functions can have access to only other static members declared in the same class. But there are some restrictions on them. First, they may only access other static members of the same class directly. They can access the other static members of the same class directly. They do not have a this pointer. Static member functions cannot use the this pointer. This pointer points to the current object. This is not done in the static member function. It is not implemented in static member function. There cannot be a static and a non-static version of the same function. The same function you cannot define static as well as non-static. Either you can use that particular function as a static or either non-static. There is a syntax for declaring the static member functions. The static member functions can be called using class name as, there is a syntax, you want to specify first name of the class, after that scope resolution operator and use the function name, the static function name. Syntax for declaring a static member function. When you want to specify a static member function, then use first static keyword. After the static keyword, you want to specify the return type, because function returns the value. Function returns any value in the program execution. So you want to specify here the return type, because each function returns a particular value. Then after that there is a function name, and if function have the argument, then you pass the number of argument for that particular function. Then next syntax is used for when you are calling a static member function. When you are calling a static member function, then use the following syntax. First use the class name. After the class name, you want to use the scope resolution operator. After the scope resolution operator, you want to specify the function name or the member function name. This is the syntax for declaring the static member function. Here is one sample program that demonstrates. This program displays a class which displays the number of times display operation is performed. Here is one class named as display. In that class there is one static member variable, static data member as a count, which is a type of integer. Here one static data member is declared. Then next here static member function is declared. In that static member function, here the static member variable count is increment. Here the increment operation on the static data member is done, and each time the value is displayed. Then the static variable is accessed outside of the class. How to access? First we want to specify the data type. After data type, we want to specify the class name, and after the class name apply the scope resolution operator, or by using the scope resolution operator you access the static data member used in the class. Here the static member data member name is count. Then next, in the main function, the 4 objects of the display class are created. named as OB1, OB2, OB3 and OB4. Here 4 objects of the display class are created, and each object calls the display function, this function which is an static member function, and function always calls with the class name. So how to access the function with class name? There is an syntax: function name, scope resolution operator, and static member function name. After executing this program, the output gets 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Because initially static count value is 0, but in the member function, in the static member function, first static data member's value is incremented by 1. So it first displays 1. Then this 1 value is shared by all the objects, and second object obj2 takes this one value, obj1 takes this one value and increments its one by 1 and again display. Then next object, then next object. This way the 4 objects static values are displayed. This is about the static data member and static member function. Here static data member is count and static member function is disp. As I told earlier that static member function is initialized to 0. First initialize to 0. See this program. You can execute this program and see the output. Here the statement count C++ is executed when disp function is invoked and the current value of count is assigned to the each object. See this example also. Here in this example, the static data member is accessed through the static member function. See this example, you will get the clear idea about the static member function. Here one class is an demo which having the static data member as x. Here x variable is defined as a static. How? Static integer x. Then next, here is one static member function fun, and in that function the x values is displayed. For defining the value outside the class, here first we use the class, and by using the class we assigns the value to the static data member. Here we assigns the value as a 10. X is an static data member and we assign the 10 value to this static data member. Then in the main function we create the object for the class demo x, and the function will call. When function call, the static member variables value will initialize. That is, when you are compile and execute this program, then you will get the output value of x is 10, because here we initialize the value as a 10. Here we need an scope resolution operator to access the static data member in the member function. This is all about the static data member and static member function. Next we will see the friend function. What is the use of friend function? A friend function of a class is defined outside that class scope, but it has the right to access all the private and protected members of the class. In the last lecture, we seen the access specifiers. In that access specifiers, we seen the use of private and protected members. As we know that the private data members cannot be accessed outside of the class, and protected also, the protected data members cannot be accessed outside of the class, but the protected members can get accessed to the its derived class or the subclass. Okay, but by using a friend function, we can access the private as well as protected data members of the class. The friend function of a class is defined outside of the class scopes, but it accesses the private as well as protected data members. Why it is called as a friend function? Because a friend can be a function template, or a member function, or a class template, in which case the entire class and all of its members are friends. So it is called as a friend function. This is an friend function. In short, a friend function is one function that is defined outside of the class scope, but it can access all the private and protected members of the class. Even though prototypes for the friend functions appear in the class definition, then friends are not member functions. A friend can be a function template, or member function, or a friend is an class or class template, in which the entire class and all its members are friends. Means they can be accessed anywhere in our program. When you want to declare any function as a friend, then precede the function prototype in the class definition with the keyword friend. Means when you want to specify the any function as a friend, then use the friend keyword. By using the friend keyword, you can define the friend function. The syntax for defining the friend function is as: first use the friend keyword. After the friend keyword, use the return type. Give the return type, because every function returns a particular value. So specify the return type. After the return type, use the function name, and if the functions have the argument, then pass the number of arguments to that respective function. For example, here is one class student. Here is one class student. In that student class, there are number of data members. After the data members, there are member function. Here are two member function. One is the display and second one is the get data. Get data function is an friend function. Friend. How to define a friend function? First use the friend keyword. After the friend keyword, use the return type for that particular function. Then give the function name. What is the function name? What is the name of our friend function name? Get data. If the function have the argument, then pass the arguments. Then how to access the friend function outside the class? When we want to access these display functions, then by using the class name we access this display function by using the scope resolution operator. But get data function is the friend function, so we can directly take the function outside of the class, so it is called as a friend function. Take a real time example. The two friends shares the data. Okay, when they are shares the data, that time they are getting a friends. Means friends can share any data in anywhere, such as that in C++ the function called as friend, because that function is friendly. That function does not require the scope resolution operator for accessing the function. That friend function is called directly outside the class, as well as friend function can directly access the private and protected data members. So it is a friendly, so it is called as a friend function. There are some properties of the friend functions, such as the friend function is not in the scope of the class in which it has been declared. It is not scope of the particular class. It is cannot be called using the object of that class. The friend function can be called directly. It cannot be called using the object of the class. It can be invoked directly like normal function. As I told earlier, the friend function can be called directly without using the objects of that particular class. It cannot access the data members directly. These are accessed with object name and dot membership operator. For example, OB1 means object 1 dot member variable name. Friend can be declared anywhere in public, protected or private section in the class without changing in meaning. Friend member function can be declared anywhere, that is in public section or in protected section or in private section. It has objects as arguments. And last one is the friend function cannot be inherited. The friend function cannot be inherited. At the time of the third unit, we will see how the friend function cannot be implemented in the case of inheritance. These are the properties of the friend function. Let's see the example for the friend function. See this example. Here is one class as a box which having the data member width. Then in that class box there is one friend function, that is print width, that having a box as an parameter, class object as an parameter. This friend function, after that there is one normal function set width. This function is used to assign the width to the box. Then the member function definition is given here. The normal member function is accessed by using the scope resolution operator. Here width value is assigned. Then our friend function print width is called, because here print width function is called directly because print width is a friend of a box. It is a friend of a class box. It is a friend, so it is called directly. And here width of a box is displayed. In the main function, the object of the class is created, and by using object, the functions are called. When you will execute this program, you will get the output as width of box is 10, because here width is passed as a 10. When we define any function as a friend, then that function is the friend of that particular class. So that he is the friend of that class, so he can directly access the data of that particular class. He can directly call outside of the class. This is an example of friend function. In short, when you define any function as a friend in C++, then at that time that particular function gets friend to that particular class. The class and that function gets friends, so that that function can access the data directly. That function can call directly outside the class. They does not require the scope resolution operator. That function is friend of that class, so it is called directly outside of the class by using the class object. This is all about the friend function. In today's lecture, we are going to see that the static data member, static member function and friend function. Okay, thank you.